So my question's on the same topic that we've been talking about, but it's about two people with the same desire. And if one person's in alignment and the other person isn't, how that can work out? Is it the stronger person in alignment, the one that might get more ease in the direction of what
Well, things are always working out for everyone. So the one who has less resistance, it works out usually faster and fuller. But the thing that's most interesting about a situation like this is that as you want something, and let's say you want this and another person wants something different. So if you are really in alignment with what you want, if you are in the receptive mode when you think about it, then it's coming to you. And the same for the other. If the other wants something or is aware that they now desire it and they remain in the receptive mode, then what they want is coming, and there is no competition between the two, because the universe will find a way for each of them to get what they want. But the thing that is hindering to these two is that usually this one is not in the receptive mode because this one's worried about that one, and this one's not in the receptive mode because this one's worried about that one. So now this is the conversation we've really got. Abraham, if there are two people not in the receptive mode because they are worried about what the other one wants, then what happens? And we say nobody gets what they want, and they blame each other.
But if you have the desire to have, for instance,
we have another question for you. Do you believe that you need this one's approval or support in order to get what you want? If you believe that you need this one's approval or support to get what you want, then them not giving it to you, of course, would be a hindering factor. But when you are not factoring in the support of another, but you are understanding that your desire is enough to carry it to full fruition, we do not believe that at the heart of anything that anyone wants is something that opposes what's at the heart of what someone else wants, because you all want it because you believe you will be more joyful, or because it will be more fun, or because.
Yeah, I guess specifically, if two people want to go after this one business, and one's in alignment and trying to do ease, and the other one's, well, it takes hard work, and, this is the way I'm going to do it. Is the one in alignment going to kind of trump that person as far as the direction and the speed that it goes?
Well, you could ignore the one who is in alignment. Alignment trumps everything. So when you're in alignment, another one cannot oppose you enough to slow you down unless you're giving them your attention and pushing against them. And that's the hard thing. That's why you usually want people to agree with you who are up close to you, because when they don't agree and you focus upon their disagreement, then you're not in the receptive mode anymore. So the question is, how can I stay in the receptive mode when I'm up close to someone who disagrees with something that I'm doing? And we say, you have to care more about the receptive mode than about their agreement.
So what I try to do, and it seems to work, is when my husband says, goes to that place, I just kind of nicely say, everything's already okay. It's my way of kind of changing the thought process he's in to go where I want to stay in alignment.
Well, the thing that we most want to say is that you are the creator of your own reality. And yes, there are those around you who will come in to cooperation with you. And so this is also a conversation about how can I get someone who's uncooperative to become cooperative? And we say, well, it certainly isn't to focus on their lack of cooperation, because that just gets them to stand stronger. And so it really is about, Jerry wrote a paper many, many years ago, and the title of it was, long title, Keep Your Ideas to Yourself Until They Are Fully Developed. And so it's about getting momentum going, because we are certain that no one would oppose something that felt like a good idea to them. And we're certain that no one would oppose something if they were watching evidence of things coming into place. And so what happens sometimes is you get an idea and you may be following out, but you haven't followed it out enough that it really has strong enough momentum to be influential to another. And so what you're actually asking of one another often is, hey, I've got a hunch that this might work out, and I'm wanting you to fully support my hunch. And we would not do that. We wouldn't even talk about a hunch. We would make sure the energy was really moving fully before we ask anyone else to join in with the idea of it. You see what we're getting at? Don't ask people to go against their intentions or their beliefs in support of yours. Ask them to support their own intentions and their own beliefs. But if you can get to the place where you don't feel like you need someone's support in order for you to have universal support, now you are truly free. And often, someone who was a doubter becomes a believer. Someone who didn't think it was a good idea comes to realize that it is a good idea. But almost always these conflicts come because neither one, and in this case usually the one who's sure that they want to do it and not getting the support, you really don't have the momentum in place before you're asking someone else to come along with you. Mm-hmm. It's not easy in a world who believes something when they see it to ask them to believe something before they can see it. It's asking quite a bit. We know. These conversations that we have here with the likes of you are really leading edge conversations. We're asking you to allow yourself to produce cooperative emotion based upon things that you can't see. In religious terms, it's called faith. But we're not asking you to believe in something that you're afraid of. We're asking you to believe in something that you're excited by, you see. And so we know it's a lot to ask, but if you can leave even those up close to you sort of out of the equation a little while. Esther would say to Jerry, I really want to talk about this because I want to know what you think. And Jerry would say, I don't think you want to know what I think. I think you want me to agree with what you think. And Esther would say, busted. Because for some reason it was easier for her to think it if he'd think it too. They'd be on an airplane. She had no interest at all in reading anything until he was reading something. Then she's trying to read over his shoulder. He's saying, I can get you your own. She'd say, no, I'm not interested until you are. If somebody else can get the energy moving on something, then it does draw your attention to it. And so keep the ideas to yourself until they've gained enough momentum that nothing can slow it down. And then you don't feel resentful of somebody who doesn't join you. You just have mild amusement at their inability to see what you can so clearly see. Yes?
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Enough?
Yes.